Yes, Sarah down the street had roofing service company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Make plans to join 93.7 The Ticket and the Amon Green Foundation for the first annual Nebraska Esports Golf Tournament on Monday, June 9th at Wilderness Ridge. It's a four-man scramble starting at 11 a.m. that will feature former Husker greats like Amon Green, Johnny Rogers, Niles Paul, Tony Davis, Adam Carricker, Vershawn Jackson, and more, with great prizes and great golf. Sponsorships are also available. Call or text us at 402-464-5685 with questions, or sign your team up online at theticketfm.com. Registration goes through May 30th. Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through May 27th is $1 off hamburger and hot dog buns, $1 off Plum Creek chicken wings, 15% off barbecue sauces, and 15% off burgers, hot dogs, and brats. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 160th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Hey, it's your girl Jordan from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. It's official. Wedding season is here. And we know that every detail counts. From bridal party gifts to the finishing touches for the bride and groom, discover our exclusive selection of watches and fine jewelry. Did you know we even offer in-house engraving? Celebrate your special day with a personal touch and a timeless gift they'll cherish forever. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Support Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach on Give to Lincoln Day. Your gift will be received by a portion of Lincoln Community Foundation's matching fund. Homelessness is a complex problem facing our community. By working together, we can find solutions. Your donation for Give to Lincoln Day moves us closer to ensuring that everyone in Lincoln has a safe place to sleep at night. Because of your generosity, hope lives here. Give anytime through May 29th at givetolincoln.com.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with pay starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Welcome to the 2025 NSAA State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. State baseball broadcasts are powered by Game Day Men's Health, Max Tan, Dome University, Raising Canes, and the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Now, calling all the action, here's Nick Sainert and Austin Orman.
That is right. Welcome back out to Warner Park on a Tuesday afternoon. Still chilly, still windy, and still dry, which is the most important piece of that statement. Nick Sainert, Austin Orman alongside Harrison Arns back in our 93.7 The Ticket studios here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. All right, we've seen two Class B elimination games. Now it's time we turn our attention to the Class A bracket, and this is sure to be a doozy. It's a rematch of the opening round game that ended in dramatic fashion on a 2 RBI walk-off sacrifice fly that the right fielder for the Millard West Wildcats dropped on the transfer. Millard South then loses on a walk-off of their own to the Lincoln East Spartans on Monday Here, it's an elimination game between those two teams, Millard West and Millard South.
This was a fantastic game the first time around. One small correction, it was not a walk-off 2-run sacrifice fly. It was in the middle innings.
Thank you.
It held up later. But yesterday's game with Millard South, Nick, between them and Lincoln East was fantastic. Felt like Millard South was in control of the game, maybe not firmly. They just couldn't find that one big hit to put Lincoln East away. It's such a fun 4 versus 5 matchup. Two of the better teams in the state any given year, and two of the better baseball programs. You go up and down the list of guys that both sides are sending to college. A lot of recognizable names, a lot of star power, even down maybe some of their bigger stars from last year. It was a 2-1 game the first time. I hope here in the elimination game we're in for something similar.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good one. Millard South, the designated home team, while Millard West, the visitors on the scoreboard. Millard South will start pitcher number 4, Jackson Corey, on the bump. Jackson Corey on the year, a really good season for the pitcher for Millard South High School. If I can get to the right page here, Jackson Corey on the year, 3-0, a 1.90 earned run average. Throws from the right side, and he's going to be facing a Millard West lineup that I was talking about yesterday, Austin. I think we talked about it, about how Millard West in the years past with Nick Van Tyker, Tyson Lewis, one guy is at Creighton, the other guy's in the Cincinnati Reds organization. He said, no, I'm not going to worry about going to college at Arkansas. I'm going to stay with the Cincinnati Reds organization. They hit the ball for power. Not to say that this team can't do it, but this lineup is deep, but they do it in a different way than what they're used to.
More manufacturing of runs is how I think you would describe it. Only 2 home runs on the year for the Wildcats. Certainly not going to be easy to come by long balls today. Werner's a big part. 315 down the lines, 402 to center field, and some of the best pitching they'll see all year. Certainly familiar are both sides with each other. Before this Millard West, there's not that same explosive element consistently. Yeah. It's get him on, get him over, get him in.
Stepping into the box, rather, for the first at-bat of the game is Sam Kidd, the Millard West catcher, and he takes ball 1 up out of the zone, 1-0. We are underway here. First pitch, 4:02 p.m., and at 4:02 p.m., your weather forecast, 56 degrees here in Papillion. It's a 2-ball, no-strike count to the leadoff hitter, Sam Kidd, the catcher for Millard West High School, trusty behind the backstop for the Wildcats as he takes strike 1 across the heart. It's now 2 balls, 1 strike.
Speaks to the caliber of athlete that Kidd is, that he's batting in the leadoff spot, Nick. Usually you see a guy like Carson Durr, right? He's in the 5 hole. He's playing with other catchers in the 3 and 4 spots. But Sam Kidd's an incredible athlete.
Hardy cut there on a 2-1 fastball. Good approach at the plate. That's the thing I look for, especially in the early going. What's the approach? What are these guys looking to do? Sam Kidd tried to take that one 316 over the wall in left field with that swing. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch on the way, swung on, fouled back over our right shoulder, and we'll do it again at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Slow breaking ball. You can really tell the change of pace there between Corey's fastball and that bender.
2 balls, 2 strikes. First hitter of the top of the first inning. Millard West, Millard South, your 2 programs in this one. Is this foul ball going to go towards the student section of Millard West over their head, and foul ball once again. This is what a leadoff hitter is meant to do. This is now pitch 7 of the at-bat for Sam Kidd and for the pitcher Jackson Corey. The righty-righty matchup from the windup. Up and away, ball 3. Regardless of the outcome, a nice at-bat to start the game for Millard West leadoff hitter Sam Kidd. Kidd on the season hitting just a little above 300. The 3-2 fouled off again, and we'll do it at 3 balls, 2 strikes.
It'll be interesting to see, again, high-level game between high-level programs. How much do pitchers trust their secondary stuff when they're even or behind in the count?
3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the payoff pitch to Kidd. Outside, ball 4. Great at-bat to start the game. I said it when we were watching Millard West in and out, that they look real crisp. There's something to be said, and Millard South's in the same category here as well, Austin. There's something to be said about teams that have been here before, coaches that have coached on this stage in elimination games, and we're seeing it. Millard West, seems like they came with a business-like approach here on a Tuesday.
There's a very fine line between making the moment too big and not making it big enough. This is business as usual for both of these state tournament regulars, where you know it has the feel of a big game, both teams playing for their season in an elimination game right here, but they know how to manage the moment, the emotions that come with it.
So here is Dylan Swiersek, the starting pitcher for Millard West. He takes ball one up out of the zone, 1-0. We could go on and on about the long list of college commitments that Millard West has. How about this one? Sam Kidd going to Middlebury College in Vermont.
That's a ways away.
That is a long ways away. Middlebury College is where Sam Kidd's going. Dylan Swiersek watches ball two on the out, just outside. It's going to be 2 balls, no strikes. Dylan Swiersek going a lot closer to home at Northeast Community College in Norfolk. 2 balls, no strikes here to the righty, Dylan Swiersek. Getting the start on the mound for the Millard West Wildcats. Quick pick over to first base. And back in time was the courtesy runner over there, number 30, Hunter Young.
It feels like there's not as much star power on this Millard West team, but we talked about the depth of the lineup. A bunch of dudes going on to play at the next level. That's a testament to these guys, but really the program.
Here's the pitch. Swiersek watches a 2-0. That was a breaking ball. It had a little bit of speed change in there, and it's a 2-ball, 1-strike count. And that's okay. There's a difference between approach and wanting to attack the fastball on 2-0, but also not jumping at a breaking ball just because it's a 2-ball, no-strike count. The 2-1 pitch. Swiersek squares the bunt. It's a good one. Back to the pitcher. He hesitates for a moment, but Corey's able to fire it over to first base where Logan Wick was covering the second baseman, and that is out number 1 on the sacrifice. And so Dylan Swiersek hopefully moves a guy into scoring position to help himself out on the mound when Millard West is on defense. Thanks to the sacrifice bunt, it's a 1-4 put out on the game book for out number 1. Moving up to second, as I mentioned, was Hunter Young, the courtesy runner. Now stepping into the box, it's Chance Roberts, the 3-hole hitter, is getting the start in right field today. The left-hander facing the righty arm of Jackson Corey. The pitch is in there for a strike, 0-1.
Corey, the lone sophomore on this Millard side, one of 2 sophomores, with him and Braden Sweeney, both playing key roles in this one for the Patriots.
A fairly routine lead out there at second base by Hunter Young. He is checked by Corey as Corey delivers home. This one slapped through the right side, and that's going to be a fair ball down the right field line. Rounding third and scoring easily is Hunter Young, and Chance Roberts delivers here on the first at-bat of the game for him in the top of the first inning. Millard West takes an early 1-0 lead.
Well struck down the first baseline. Steventon's diving effort came up short. Thought that was going to be 2 off the bat, but the padding worked out in Millard South's favor. So Millard West gets the run, but the runner only gets to first base.
But there you have it, the perfect example of what Austin and I were talking about in our pregame, where Millard West has to start manufacturing runs. That's how they win games this year. And there's a perfect example. Get them on, get them over, and a simple base knock gets them in off the bat of Chance Roberts. And so now Cade Skomel, the designated hitter, steps in and takes ball 1 on a breaking ball way outside in the opposite batter's box, 1-0.
If you thought Corey was young for this game as a sophomore, here's a freshman in Skomel batting in the heart of the Millard West order.
Cade Skomel, the designated hitter, number 33 on the back of the jersey, hitting over 300 in his first year on varsity. As he takes strike 1, first year in high school, I should be more specific. As he takes strike 1 on the outer part of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the first inning. Jackson Corey going to try to limit some damage here in the visiting half of the first, as it's a righty-righty matchup. Quick pick over first base, back in plenty of time was Roberts.
You can tell that's a good lead, though, Nick, because it's not just fall over onto the bag. It's a step and a dive, which tells you you're getting far enough off of first base to give yourself a chance to rip off second.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit left side. It's fielded. No, it's booted by the third baseman. Does he have time over at first base? He does not. Everybody's going to be safe as the Millard South third baseman, Jackson Apin, had that one bounce off of his glove on his left hand, and everybody is safe. That is an error against the Millard South third baseman. Skumel reaches on an E5. And moving up to second on the air is Chance Roberts.
Apin's been a little shaky defensively at third base. during in and outs and then into the course of game action. Nick Scomo doesn't run the best. I really thought Apin had a chance to get to his feet and still throw across in time.
Apin committed that error that Lincoln East eventually walked off on the base hit down the third base line yesterday. Runners on first and second, one out. Here's the pitch in there for a strike to Colton Williams. Williams had himself a heck of a day on the mound yesterday against their opponents. But unfortunately, here he is hitting fifth in the Millard West lineup. The 0-1 pitch is just a tad outside, ball one. Millard West defeated Papillion La Vista. Colton Williams was dominant on the mound yesterday in that win against Papio. An aggressive lead at second base as this one softly chopped right side. The only play is going to be to first base. So both runners will advance to second and third with 2 outs now as Colton Williams, not officially, but somewhat sacrifices his at-bat on the 1-3 ground out to move both runners up 90 feet into getting both of them in scoring position. That's out number 2 here in the top of the first inning. And if you're Jackson Corey, the Millard South pitcher, you're sitting here saying, I can still get out of this with limited damage, but I got to get through Tyson Meyer as he deals the 0-0 pitch upstairs, 1 ball, no strike.
That one was up. Probably want to live down, right? Get something on the ground, give your infield a chance because something in the outfield's likely to score 2.
1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the first inning, 2 runners for Millard West in scoring position. The pitch swung on and missed, a 1-0 breaking ball. Got Tyson Meyer out in front, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 pitch, 1 out away from getting out of the jam in the top of the first inning for Jackson Corey. Out of the stretch, the pitch swung on, skied high. The park should hold this one as the third baseman Apin loses it, and it's going to drop to the grass.
Apin came tearing down into foul territory. Durr looked like he had a beat on it. Apin was yelling, mine, 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 got it, and then misjudged it by about 5 feet.
And so Jackson Apin and Carson Durr struggle to communicate on the third base foul line in front of the Millard South dugout. And so we are going to do it at 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs in the top of the first. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A quick conference between Durr, Wick, and Corey, the pitcher for Millard South. And they've been broken up by the home plate umpire. We're ready to go. As Tyson Meyer stands in, tiptoeing that chalk on that right-handed batter's box. Righty-righty matchup, 1-2 count, 2 outs, top of the first inning. Swung on and missed. Jackson Corey limits the damage as he surrenders just 1 run. 2 Millard West runners are left not only on base but in scoring position. And we head to the bottom half of the first inning. Millard West does take the lead. They lead it 1-0, and we get to see Millard South at the plate for the first time in this one when we come back in 60 seconds.
Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through May 27th is $1 off hamburger and hot dog buns, $1 off Plum Creek chicken wings, 15% off barbecue sauces, and 15% off burgers, hot dogs, and brats. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks. Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into Warner. I'm holding a baseball while calling a baseball game with Austin Orman. Nick Sainert with you as well. I'm not sure if there's anything more pure than holding a baseball while calling a baseball game, Austin Norman.
You try out some different grips. You try out some different vocabulary.
You just spin it around, and you just spin it around a little bit, toss it back and forth, and here we are. Now we get to see Millard South for the first time in the bottom of the first inning after Millard West adds a run in the top of the first. They lead it 1-0. And I do want to point out, just as an educational piece, Sam Kidd was the guy who came around to score in that first inning. How was he put on base? Base on balls, free passes. They're detrimental. I can't say it enough. Millard South comes to the plate for the first time. They're the 4 seed in the Class A bracket. Millard West is the 5 seed, so that's why they are the designated home team. We will see Will Thomas, the left-handed hitter, due up first for the Patriots. Will going to be attending Northwest Missouri State to continue his college career down there in Maryville, not Marysville, Kansas, Maryville. But Will Thomas steps into that left-handed batter's box, and he'll face Dylan Swiersek. Swiersek, the right-handed pitcher for Millard West, has a 1.88 earned run average on the year and throws strike 1 to Will Thomas. He's also 4-0 here in 2025. So Will Thomas stepping in. Watch that fastball go by on the outer part of the zone. Here's Dylan Swiersek on 0-1. The pitch, outside corner, same spot, 0-2.
That's a really good location. Thomas doesn't have a lot of pop, so if you can live away, make him a slap hitter, trust your defense to work, that's a really good spot to start if you're Swiersek.
No balls, 2 strikes. Millard West would probably like a clean one and a quick one as they can get back in the batter's box. They tried to go a little farther out. I like the decision, whether that's Sam Kidd or whether that is the Millard West coaching staff and Steve Fry in the dugout. I like the idea. Establish that fastball outer part of the zone. Will Thomas hasn't taken the bat off his shoulder. See if you can get a little to chase a little farther out. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Swiersek. Just a tad outside, and it's going to be 2-2.
It's smart pitching to push the boundaries. See what you can get away with in the early going.
Get a feel also for the home plate umpire. What kind of game is he going to call? Is he going to give you that spot early on in the ball game? 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count. Here's the pitch to Will Thomas. Fouled off left side, and we'll do it again.
It's a 9-pitch at bat from Sam Kidd that resulted in a walk in the top of the frame. Will Thomas has now seen 5 pitches of his own. Something in that 5 to 7 pitch range is generally what you want first at bat of a game from a leadoff hitter. But ultimately, get on base.
Swiersek doesn't pitch out of the windup. It's out of the stretch to the leadoff hitter. This one hit hard to the shortstop. 2-hopper, fielded cleanly, fires over to first in time for out number 1. And now you have the shortstop for Millard West. In this case, it is Tyson Meyer. He is talking junk to the Millard South dugout, not only as he fielded that ground ball, but after they were throwing it around the horn and he was skipping around and pointing to the Millard South dugout saying it's go time. A little bit of a feud going on between these two programs, two well-established programs in the Metro. Well, not Metro, but in, I suppose, Western Omaha. Here's the pitch to Brady Parrish. Parrish, the left fielder today, takes ball 1 outside, 1-0.
Really, it's all the Metro. Lincoln has enough integrity to remain its own city and not overtake other ones.
I appreciate that. There it is. Here's the pitch. Hits a line drive up the middle and down for a base hit for Brady Parrish. It's a 1-out single. And as you can hear, the crowd is lively here at Warner Park. A good crowd on hand despite the weather conditions. Tomorrow's going to be a real nice day for us. It's looking at about close to 70 degrees. No chance for rain, no significant chance for rain, I should say, tomorrow. High of 68 degrees. Friday going to be a little chillier for state championship Friday. Should still be okay, though. So it's 1-out base knock, and here comes Jackson Apin. Soft grounder to the shortstop. Second for 1 on the way to first. Not in time. So Millard West able to get the force out at second, and Apin reaches on the fielder's choice. So 2 outs here in the home half of the first inning. It's 1-0 Millard West. Runner on first is Jackson Apin. Now stepping into the box, the cleanup hitter, Braden Swaney, the right fielder. Swaney, number 23 for Millard South, hitting .397 coming into the state tournament. Here's the pitch. Low and inside, ball one. One to zero is your score. 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning. Apen leads off of first base. Here's the pitch. Swung hard. Hit down the first base line, but foul. As the first base umpire, a little slow to react and give his signal of fair or foul. The catcher for Millard West, Sam Kidd, probably helped him out a little bit with his own direction of saying foul, foul, foul. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Braden Swaney. And I was being sarcastic there. I hope the umpire's not influenced by the catcher 95 feet away. Here's the pitch. Hits the outside corner. Tough call, as that was a great pitch from Dylan Swiersik. That is a definition of a pitcher's pitch. Low and outside. It clipped the corner according to the home plate umpire, and there's not much Braden Swaney could have done with it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's this one, chopped right side. It's going to be fielded by the second baseman. Overhand throw to first base in time for out number 3. It's 4-3 on the putout, and it's a clean bottom half of the first inning for Dylan Swiersik of Millard West. We turn to the top of the second when we come back. The bottom 3 in the order for Millard West due up to face Jackson Corey when we come back on 93.7 The Ticket.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
When daily energy fades and your drive just isn't what it used to be, Game Day Men's Health helps you step back into top form. Game Day Men's Health is one of the country's fastest growing clinics, and they focus on men's wellness, providing customized solutions with professionalism and privacy in mind. Testosterone optimization, weight management, vitamin injections, and shockwave therapy are just a few of the many things they offer. Restore your energy and rediscover confidence with the help of Game Day Men's Health, because every man deserves to feel his best every day. Visit them online at GameDayMen'sHealth.com today or in person at one of their 2 locations in Omaha.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into Warner Park. Nick Sainert, Austin Norman with you. It's 1-0 Millard West out in front of Millard South. It'll be 7, 8, and 9 due up in the Wildcats lineup against Jackson Corey. Corey, glass half full approach here, was able to limit the damage in the top of the first inning, stranded a couple of Millard West runners on second and third. And here he faces Jake Daniel, the second baseman for Millard West, up first in the top of the second. Coming set from the stretch, it's Corey. Corey pauses and lifts the leg and now fires, and he fires in strike 1, 0-1 to Jake Daniel. Husker Baseball gets their Big Ten baseball tournament action started tonight. Just a short drive down the road from where we are, as the 0-1 pitch is fouled off to the right side, 0-2. They'll face off against Michigan State here in a little over an hour and a half at 6 p.m. at Charles Schwab Field. No balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, top of the second inning here for the Millard South defense and pitcher on the mound, Jackson Corey. This one swung on, breaking ball, soft chopper, left side. The shortstop lets it come to him, fires it over to first just in time for out number 1.
McAndrews did a good job getting the ball across. Stronger arm than I think we've seen him put on display so far this state tournament. He really sat back and waited for that ball to come to him. He wanted to make sure it took that second bounce instead of taking the first short hop, but it almost took a third bounce, and he was so deep in the hole, you saw the runner have a chance to beat it out.
It was interesting because it looked like, since it was a breaking ball, there was a little bit of juice and English on that baseball. Probably the smarter play to let it sit back and just let it come to you, but still made a bang-bang play over at first base. Now, Jake Blackman, the starting center fielder for Millard West, is due up. He takes ball one, low, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 offering from Corey, as it is low again, 2-0. Blackman starting to show bunt. It's forcing Jackson Apin, the third baseman for Millard South, to creep in and play inside the cut of the grass here at Warner. First baseman is playing even with the bag over there down the right field line. The 2-0 offering from Corey to Blackman. It's on its way, swung on and missed. It'll be 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the second inning. The pitch from Corey. Just a tad inside, and it is now 3-1.
Bottom of the order's job is to set the table for the top. Blackman 1 pitch away from drawing a free pass here. Even, you know what Daniel did? He hustled it out. He squared it up. He ran it out, was nearly safe at first base to start the inning.
Here's the 3-1. It's hit hard left side. Great stop on a dive by Apin. Has plenty of time. He throws it in the dirt, but it is scooped over there by the first baseman for Millard South in Roy Steventon. And it's out number 2 for the Millard South defense and pitcher Jackson Corey.
That's a really nice stretch over there by Stevenson at first base. He didn't catch it clean. It was in kind of the heel of his glove, but it wasn't bobbled. He did have control of it. It works for the out.
Jared Betts, the future Nebraska Westland Prairie Wolf, is due up now. He turns, squares, and takes ball 1-0. Shout out to Jeff Christie and his squad. A lot of former Huskers on that staff. Tanner Lubach, Josh Rader. And as Betts takes strike 1 on the outer part, I can't forget about one of my good friends, Mason Bennett, also on that staff. Played at Westland. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike, 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strike, 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. The 1-2 offering from Corey. Just a tad low and away. 2-2.
Corey's done a good job mixing his pitches so far. He's had pretty good command of the fastball. He's spun the breaking ball in a handful of different counts. That's a good sign early in a game.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the second inning. Corey from the stretch to Betts. This one swung on, popped into shallow, rather routine center field. The wind's going to push it more towards right center field, but in to make the catch is the center fielder for Millard South, Will Thomas, and that will do it for the top of the second inning. A good response by Jackson Corey, going 3 up, 3 down through the bottom third of the Millard West lineup. When we come back for the bottom of the second, it's 5, 6, 7 due up for the Patriots in the home half of the second inning. They trail Millard West 1-0 here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Discovering your life's passion is easier with options, and that's what Doane offers students. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doane, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes you different. Apply today at doane.edu/apply.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100, or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into Warner Park. Nick Sainert, Austin Orman alongside. It's 1-0 Millard West. They scored their lone run in the top of the first inning after Sam Kidd got on after a walk. He was sacrificed over to second base and then scored on an RBI single by Chance Roberts. But Millard West stranded 2 of their two runners in scoring position on second and third to end that first inning. Now here's Millard South trying to answer in the bottom half of the second, trailing 1-0. Due up, it's Carson Durr, the catcher, as he takes ball one outside, 1-0. It'll be Carson Durr, the catcher, Noah Carroll, the designated hitter, and Blake McAndrews, the shortstop. Due up here in the home half of the second for Millard South, as this one's laced up the middle, and that's a base hit to start us off in the bottom of the second inning by Carson Durr. Dylan Swierczyk had to jump out of the way of that one on the pitcher's mound. The second baseman unable to range to his right in enough time and get that one. That had some smoke coming out of it, as it was a hard hit ball up the middle by Carson Durr.
Durr swung it really well so far in the state tournament. That was a shot back up the middle.
So
on to run for him, Owen Quakenbush.
Thank you. Yes, Quakenbush, the courtesy runner for the Millard South catcher. And we'll see how Millard South, how aggressive they want to get here early on in the bottom of the second. That brings up the designated hitter, Noah Carroll. Carroll, the righty, against the righty Swierczyk. He watches strike one across the outer part of the zone. He will sees it clip it, and it's now 0-1.
Just 15 pitches through an inning and change now for Dylan Swierczyk. Millard South had a base runner in the first, but didn't really make Swierczyk sweat it.
No balls, one strike. Here's the pitch, low and in the dirt, 1-1. Should mention Carson Durr. He was playing the first round of the state tournament on his future home field, Tal Anderson Field up here at the home of the Mavericks. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch from Swierczyk is up and in to Noah Carroll, and now it's 2 balls, 1 strike. This feels like a time where we might see a breaking ball thrown from in behind in the count from Swierczyk to Carroll. Carroll's probably sitting fastball. Maybe we see that runner over at first take a extra lead. It is a fastball hard inside. It's 3-1 now.
I like your idea. Swierczyk missed with the breaking ball, didn't have the feel for it. That was ball 2, so he wanted to try to get a strike there, get back even in the count at 2-2, but he missed low and in. Hitters count for Carroll.
3 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch to Carroll. Good approach. He swings. He misses, though, and now we've run it full at 3 balls, 2 strikes.
That was a fastball middle out that Carroll opened up, tried to pull down the left field line.
3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out here in the bottom of the second inning. Millard South with a leadoff runner on base. Here's the pitch to Carroll in the dirt. Good stop behind the dish by Sam Kidd. But nonetheless, 2 Millard South Patriots are on base now after the walk to Noah Carroll. So the courtesy runner, Quakenbush, is going to be at second base now. And a quick conference on the mound between the third baseman, catcher, and pitcher for Millard West after it's broken up by the home plate umpire. So far, Millard West 1 run on 2 hits. Millard South no runs on 2 hits of their own. An evenly played ball game. That the lone difference was that base on balls, the sacrifice bunt, and then one of the 2 hits for Millard West drove him in. Here is Blake McAndrews. With nobody out, you see a sacrifice bunt as he turns, squares. Great bunt down the third base line. It's fielded by Swierczyk. He fires it over to first in time. A great bunt by Blake McAndrews. A better defensive play by Dylan Swierczyk, getting off of the mound, chugging over to that ball, and firing it over to first base in time.
Well done all around. Like you said, could not have been placed much better at all there by Blake McAndrews. Swierczyk obviously expecting bunt, was headed that way as well. Kind of stopped his follow-through short so he could get off the mound down the third base line. Perfect pitch and catch over to third, but Millard South still in business with runners in scoring position, only 1 away.
So here you have it. 2 runners in scoring position for Millard South in the bottom of the second inning. 1 out. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled back by the first baseman, Roy Stevenson. And it's 0-1. We used to have a saying back in high school where we would use the bunt a lot, where it was foul or perfect. Foul or perfect. You're either going to bunt, especially early in the count like that, you're going to bunt it down the line or you're going to bunt it foul. That time it was right down the line. That was a foul or perfect type of bunt for Blake McAndrews. No balls, 1 strike here for Roy Stevenson. Here's the pitch on the 0-1 offering. Skied high but foul to the right. That's going to reach the concourse. And It'll hit off of a concession stand over there down the first base line.
Bottom of the order was big for Millard South yesterday. McAndrews was 3 for 3 with a run. Stevenson was 1 for 2 with a double and scored a run.
Yeah, the bottom third of the lineup, 6 for 7 at the plate yesterday in their narrow loss to Lincoln East. The 0-2 offering to Stevenson. Here's the pitch from Swiersek. Swung on, hit well left center field. That's going to be down. 1 run will score. Being waved around third. There goes Carroll. It's cut off. It's thrown to second. And in time, he's out at second. But most importantly, Royce Stevenson comes up clutch again with a 1-out, 2 RBI single. And Millard South has a 1-run lead.
That was an incredible jump by Carroll at second base. The center fielder for Millard West, Jake Blackman, got to it in pretty good time, made a pretty strong throw, not really on a line, but it got to the cutoff man. But Nick Carroll read that perfectly off the bat. He knew it was down, and he was only about 20, maybe 30 feet behind the lead runner, Quakenbush.
Yeah, Quakenbush was back at third base to tag just in case that one was held up long enough in the wind. But from our vantage point, we could tell that that thing was going to get down to the grass. It was a really well-hit ball by Stevenson, and he tried to expand it to a double. However, if you're head coach for Millard South, Greg Geary, you're not mad about that base running decision there by Stevenson. Aggressive early on. You can afford that win, especially you bring in the 2 leading RBIs. Here's a quick chopper out to the shortstop, fielded cleanly, fired over to first in time, and the second inning is over as Logan Wick is retired on a 6-3 ground out for the final out of the second. When we come back, it's 2-1 Millard South. Millard West sending the top of their order to the plate here on 93.7 The Ticket.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Copple Chevrolet GMC, and they're having the biggest hail sale they've ever had. A huge opportunity is at your front door right now. Some of these cars we're fixing, some we're not, and some it's totally up to you. New Sierra starting at $15,000 off list. New Canyons at $8,500 off list. New body styles on the Acadias, $3,000 off list. You need to hurry as there's going to be a lot of people heading to Louisville. Check us out at copplecars.com. Stock numbers G121492, G187747, and G196599.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into Warner Park. It's the start of the third inning. Just want to remind you guys, you can always let us know where you're listening from. You can tweet at us, Nick_Sainer or at Austin_Orman, or you can text in through that Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. It's the top of the lineup for Millard West here in the top of the third inning. They trail it now 2-1. Here to tell you all about it, it's Austin Orman.
Thank you very much, Nick. Thank you as well to Wet Blanket and Bolt for their kind words on that very text line that Nick mentioned. We're back to the top of the lineup here for Millard West in the third. It's Sam Kidd. He had a 9-pitch at bat that ended with a walk. He would come around to score the game's first run. Jackson Corey delivers. That's a breaking ball over the heart of the plate for strike one. Corey threw 25 pitches in the first, just 12 in the second. He jumps ahead of Sam Kidd, 0-1. Corey, the sophomore, set. There's a fastball, strike two. Jackson Corey, the sophomore, seems to have settled in after that bumpy first inning. And there's really no chance to take a breath in this Millard West lineup. Corey's way up on Sam Kidd, 0-2. Breaking ball poked out into right center field. Will Thomas gives it a look, but it falls in front of him. So Sam Kidd, for the second time today, leads off by reaching first base.
This game is far, far from over. And, man, Sam Kidd, that's a real experienced at-bat there. He knew he wasn't going to be able to get that one to the pole side. He just let his hands do the work. He took that barrel to the outer part of the plate, poked it over the second baseman's head into shallow center field, did the job perfectly to get a leadoff base runner on.
Hunter Young running again at first base for Kidd. It was not Kidd that came around to score. It was Young. Maybe a bit of an inexperienced pitch there by Corey at 0-2. Caught a little bit too much of the plate for Kidd, who could flick it back up the middle. Corey's out of the stretch. He's ready to deliver to Dylan Swiersek. Swiersek squares to bunt. Apin nearly caught it on the fly, gave it a look to second base, but decided to go across to first. Nick, it looked like Apin had that one in plenty of time, especially given that the runner had to freeze, because it looked like Apin might have been able to catch that on the fly for a moment.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I thought that, and that's one thing that we've seen with Jackson Apin so far this week in the few games that we've seen him at the state tournament, just some indecisiveness from the Millard South third baseman. That time, it looked like that indecisiveness crept in again. He wanted to go for second, but instead made sure the one out at the first base.
Here's Chance Roberts, 3-hole batting from the left side for Millard West. He drove in a run with the RBI single in the first. Roberts, first pitch taking ball one. Young wasn't able to get a great read at first base. Apin was to that ball pretty quickly, and his teammate was at second base covering. But the runner is at second base for Chance Roberts, 1-for-1 with an RBI single. He's up in the count 2-0. Roberts wears number 2, plays right field. He's a .213 batter on the year with 9 runs driven in. He waggles that bat. Waits the pitch from Corey. Fastball letter high, 3-0.
We're seeing a very similar situation play out as to what we did in the first inning. Leadoff base runner. They sacrifice him over with Dylan Swiersek. Now you just need one of your power hitters or guys in the meat of your lineup to deliver with just a base hit.
On a 3-0 count, we'll see how green the light is for Roberts. He dropped the hands to it, but obviously didn't offer at it. Fastball taken for strike one.
It's going to be interesting to see what Corey decides to throw Roberts' way here. He hit a fastball in the inner part really well down that first base line his first at bat. Does he try to sneak a breaking ball in the back door? We'll find out.
Here comes the 3-1. It's a fastball, fouled back left side, 3-2. Corey's certainly not overpowering. He's had good command of the breaking ball so far. So if you're not going to have elite velocity, you got to hit your spots, whether that's in, out, up, or down. Corey holds that ball at his knee. Now he's set. Back leg at an angle, front left leg straight. Long look to Hunter Young at second base, now a second one. Corey kicks, brings it home. That one's flared out to left field. On the run is the left fielder for Millard South. That's Brady Parrish. He makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So now the game-tying run, 180 feet away with 2 outs for Cade Skomel. Skomel reached on an error by Jackson Apin, the third baseman, back in the first. Skomel wears 33. Youngest player in this game, he's a freshman. The only freshman listed on either of these two rosters. Listed as a catcher infielder, .310 hitter this season. He's driven in 12. Skomel gets the pitch from Corey. He watched it over the outside edge. Fastball called strike one.
Great job by Jackson Corey getting on top early in the count.
Skomel's stance just looks aggressive. Bat waggle, crouch low. He awaits the 0-1 from Corey. There's a check to second base. Out of the stretch, it's wide, 1-1. 2-1 Millard South as we play in the top of the third inning. Millard West struck first on a walk, a sacrifice bunt, and an RBI single. 1 run on 2 hits for the Wildcats. They've been at state every year since 1997, except for 2006 and the no tournament year of 2020. Here's Corey. Good look at Young at second base. Breaking ball. He aimed it, didn't throw it. 2-1.
Yeah, you mentioned the stance of Cade Skomel in the box right now. As I'm watching him take a step, there's no real load back, but his back leg, his back hip, just so much force drives through that baseball. It's a violent swing.
Corey breaks his hands. It's hit on the ground. McAndrews keeps it on the infield. He's going to fire across the diamond. What a stretch by Steveton. Great play by Blake McAndrews to get to that ball. He set his feet, and his lanky first baseman, Roy Steveton, made a wonderful stretch to retire Skomel and keep the Patriots lead at 2-1. We'll tell you about the home half of the third with Millard South coming to bat after this on 93.7 The Ticket.
When daily energy fades and your drive just isn't what it used to be, Game Day Men's Health helps you step back into top form. Game Day Men's Health is one of the country's fastest growing clinics, and they focus on men's wellness, providing customized solutions with professionalism and privacy in mind. Testosterone optimization, weight management, vitamin injections, and shockwave therapy are just a few of the many things they offer. Restore your energy and rediscover confidence with the help of Game Day Men's Health, because every man deserves to feel his best every day. Visit them online at GameDayMen'sHealth.com today or in person at one of their 2 locations in Omaha.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It'll be the top of the Millard South order coming to bat. I'm Austin Norman. Glad to be alongside Nick Sainert here for some state baseball action. Will Thomas, Brady Parrish, Jackson Apin, the first 3 for Millard South. They have 2 runs on 3 hits, have committed an error as well.
We got to shout out our boy Uncle Kev.
We sure do.
Uncle Kev's listening.
I am grateful that Thursday is an off day.
That's right.
It's Thirsty Thursday. Thomas all over that first pitch, but he grounds it directly to the second baseman. That is Jake Daniel, who handles it no problem with the throw over to first. Will Thomas, 2 short at bats. He grounds out for the second time today, bringing up Brady Parrish. Parrish lined a single for his first at bat.
I'm going to be honest to you, Austin. This has nothing to do with the baseball on the field, but every game at about the middle of the second, third inning, we start to get the whiff of popcorn, like it's freshly popped. One of these times, I'm just going to go missing from the broadcast.
Parrish back up the middle and through again. So Brady Parrish, 2 for 2. He's got a pair of singles. He's aboard with 1 away.
I mean, seriously. It's like torture up here.
In the best way, though.
In the best way. I mean, it's the sights, the sounds you can hear. I'm glad we have a crowd mic at Warner Park. We don't have it at Tal Anderson Field. I mean, the sights, the sounds, and you can't do it over the radio or over the video stream, but the smells of being at a ballpark.
The popcorn, the hot dogs, and, of course, the talent on the field. Swiersek delivers the first pitch to Jackson Apin. It's a breaking ball down and out 1-0. If this was a cartoon, you would have those kind of like smoke tendrils coming up, and we'd start drifting toward the window.
I'm getting texts about going to go get that popcorn. People want to see the popcorn. Maybe that'll have to be a social media post later. But then nobody can take my game book.
Swiersek misses low again. It's 2-0.
That's the problem.
I will stay here. I can do 2 books at once. It's okay. Teamwork.
Can you do it in pen? Because I do it in pen.
You made the bold choice of doing everything in a rich blue pen.
Yeah.
Swiersek gets a fastball over in a 2-0 count. Now it's 2-1. Shout out the concession staff here at Warner Park. I'm also glad we didn't miss out on our Valentino's Mondays. I brought Valentino's for us, including the all-meat special that we always get.
That's right.
Felt like we were right back at home. Apin awaits the 2-1. Watches that one low now. Delayed steal from Parrish. That ball will drift into center field, but good backup preventing a free 90 feet. Delayed steal from Brady Parrish. He makes it to second base. Kid's throw was on line, but just a titch late. 3-1 the count now to Apin as the runner moves into scoring position. For Apin, 39 runs driven in on the year, 3 long balls. Both those marked second on the team to the guy batting right behind him, Braden Sweeney. Swiersek gives a long look to Parrish at second. Apin watches that float across the plate, 3-2.
While we have a stoppage, I have to shout out Mississippi Mud Dog. I always appreciate their support, especially of me as an individual. Thanks for listening, Mississippi Mud Dog.
Always encouraging. Full count to Apin. Couple checks to second base by Swiersek. He kicks, brings it home, and Apin strikes out on a pitch on the inside part of the plate. He is down for the second out of the inning.
I think we're going to start to see both sides really settle in here, Austin, right? Swierczyk, he's made some really good pitches, got into a little bit of trouble in that second inning. For Millard South, I think we really started to see Jackson Corey settle in these last 2 innings, made some competitive pitches. The defense started to do their job behind him. This is where we see these two really established programs really sink their cleats into the dirt.
Back pick at second base by Swierczyk, and they got him. What a move. What a play. Braden Parrish gets picked off second base. He taps his chest and says, yep, that's my bad. Nick, that is such a hard play to pull off. How does that work for Millard West?
Well, it's a lot of doing it. It's just because it worked in the third inning doesn't mean that they just started doing it in the third inning. They've been, every time that Millard South has gotten a guy on score in second base in scoring position, it's been a situation where either the shortstop or the second baseman, in this case, the shortstop Tyson Meyer or the second baseman Jake Daniel, they're working in and out. They're alternating which guy kind of moves in and out, just keeping the runner honest. That time, number one, it's a little bit of bad communication on the third base coach, not notifying Parrish where the shortstop behind him was, but it's more so on Parrish because, once again, and on the dugout, not yelling back and not getting his butt back to second base in time. Good move on the timing part as well from Swierczyk to the shortstop there, Tyson Meyer.
Let's step aside, be back briefly for the top of the fourth inning on the ticket.
Jumpstart your summer to the max. Walk into any Max Tan in Lincoln and get a $5 standing tan session or a $5 red light wellness booth session. Your summer tan starts today with $5 sessions at Max Tan with 3 Lincoln locations.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Aloe Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela. They let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit aloefiber.com to switch today.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's the top of the fourth inning at Warner Park. Class A State Baseball Tournament. Austin Norman, Nick Sainert with you. Seen 2 games in the books from Class B. This is our first game in Class A. We'll have another one tonight. Jackson Corey on the mound. Colton Williams, first baseman, leads off with a ball through the right side, just past the glove of a diving Logan Wick. So Colton Williams aboard with a leadoff single, well struck through the 3.5 hole on the right side. 1 pitch and 1 base runner for Millard West here in the top of the fourth. That brings up Tyson Meyer. Meyer's the shortstop. He was the recipient of the throw at second base from Dylan Swierczyk on the back pick that ended the bottom half of the third. Meyer struck out his first at bat. He squares to bunt. That was up at him. He lays down another good one. Apin's going to have to hustle, and he doesn't get it over there in time. Great hustle down the line by Tyson Meyer. Apin took 1 step too many to get that ball out of his glove, and the Wildcats are cooking runners on first and second with just 2 pitches thrown in the inning.
Yeah, that's a really tough pitch to bunt. However, great job keeping that angle established and keeping it strong, right? A lot of times the forearms and our wrists, as if you're bunting, it can snap and that barrel kind of flinch as that ball connects with that barrel. Great job keeping it strong with the forearms and the wrist and putting that right down. Fowler perfect. We talked about it earlier. There it was again.
Corners come in with runners on first and second. Squaring to bunt is Jake Daniel, who grounded out to shortstop his first time. He pokes at it, fouls it back to the screen, 0-1.
This is the first time really in the state tournament where we've seen the bunting ability of a team, especially in Class A, used as a weapon and not just a manufacturing piece.
Daniel squares very early this time. Corey brings home a breaking ball that Daniel offers that and misses, 0-2.
Because now we're seeing it as Daniel struggles to get the bunt down. We're seeing what it can do for an offense if it's worked well and if it's executed correctly, or how much motivation you can lose if it's not done well or executed, or a guy's not able to do the job.
Bunt sign taken off on 0-2. This one flipped out to right field. Coming in is the right fielder, Swaney. He's pretty shallow, so that will prevent any advance. Jake Daniel does not do his job. Jackson Corey finds a way to get a big first out of the inning. F9 for Daniel, retired for the second time today. Here's center fielder Jake Blackman, who grounded out to third back in the second inning. Blackman's a senior, .230 batter. Driven in 13 runs this season.
These are those little intricacies of the game, Austin. I'll harp on them as long as we can, but instead of second and third with one out, it's first and second with one out. It's a completely different situation for the offense here.
Corner still in. Durr sets his target high. That one's drilled into the gap in right field. Will Swaney get there? He will. He stretches to make the catch. Got to get it in quickly. Runner on second will advance. That's Colton Williams making it to third. That was hit really well off the bat of Jake Blackman. Good route by Braden Swaney. It helps Nick, too, that Swaney throws left-handed, so that glove was in his right hand as he's running towards the gap. Gave him a little bit of extra margin for error.
Yeah, and it helps in addition to that the wind is blowing at about 14 miles an hour in the exact direction that ball was hit. And so I did not think that Swaney, the Millard South right fielder, was going to get there, but he did, and he outstretched his glove with his right arm, and he was able to haul it in. A really impressive job of tracking down the baseball in deep right center field.
Nice swing on it by Blackman. Goes in the books as a sacrifice fly. Here's Jared Betts at the bottom of the Wildcat lineup. Big situation for him. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. He watches the first pitch for a ball, 1-0. Middle of the order, got a board. Can the bottom of the order come through? Millard West trails 2-1. Durr backhand pick on a ball in the dirt, 2-0. Durr was watching the trail runner at first base the whole time. Jackson Corey on the bump for Millard South. He's set, ready to bring home the 2-0. Fastball taken for a strike, 2-1.
Go ahead.
I say, don't hate the take there from Betts, but that's a fastball in a pretty hittable spot.
But what I was also going to add is a very similar situation to what we saw in the top of the first. They haven't scored a run yet, but you can limit damage. You can get out of here still unscathed if you're Corey.
Corey's 2-1 fouled back over our heads, 2-2. If you're Jackson Corey, now's the time to make your best pitch. Try to put him away. Don't leave something over the heart of the plate. We saw him do that back in the third inning, for Sam Kidd, who flicked a single into center. Betts awaits the pitch. Corey kicks and deals low and out. Durr slides over to get it. Full count, 2 outs. The runner on first base, Tyson Meyer, will be in motion. In a 2-1 ball game, top of the fourth inning. Corey comes set at the belt. Late kick, fires, shot to short. McAndrews is on it. He goes across the diamond to first. Stevenson stretches his toes on the bag, and Millard West is retired. 2 runners left on base. Neither runner comes to cross the plate. It's 2-1 Millard South leading Millard West. It's the Patriots coming to bat in the bottom of the fourth next on the ticket.
Jumpstart your summer to the max. Walk into any Max Tan in Lincoln and get a $5 standing tan session or a $5 red light wellness booth session. Your summer tan starts today with $5 sessions at Max Tan with 3 Lincoln locations.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Discovering your life's passion is easier with options, and that's what Doane offers students. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doane, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes you different. Apply today at doane.edu/apply.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's 2-1 Millard South as the Patriots come to the plate in the home half of the fourth inning. Austin Norman, Nick Sainert with you. Leading off for Millard South will be cleanup hitter Braden Swaney. Nick, a bit of a missed opportunity last inning for Millard South as they had a 1-out single from Brady Parrish. He moved up to second base, and then he got back-picked at second base. Not something you see very often on a 1-6 kickoff. The reason that hurts especially is that Swaney leads this team with 4 home runs as a lefty, a pull-based hitter. The wind's blowing out where he's strong. And your leading RBI guy with 42 on the year. Had a guy out there, a simple single could have even done the trick and extended that lead.
Yeah, he did. And there's 2 different types of pickoffs you can run at second base. One is where the shortstop will backpedal towards center and it'll be a timing play. The other one's just a flash of the glove. They got him on the flash of a glove. It's just a quick move to second base. It was really, really impressive.
Swaney looking to do damage on the first pitch. Instead, he cuts at it and misses down in the count 0-1. Dylan Swiersek on the bump for Millard West. That one, foul tip at the plate, 0-2. Swiersek just threw his 36th pitch of the game. Really efficient. Even though he's given up 2 runs and 4 hits, Millard South has been aggressive. Swiersek taps that foot, comes set, breaking ball way low and out, 1-2. Game of baseball can go one of 2 ways. Either the missed opportunities come back and get you, or the more pressure you apply, the more runs you score. Swiersek's 1-2 fastball is up and away, 2-2. And Nick, a game between these 2 teams of this caliber, programs of this caliber, it's really going to be interesting to see if there's going to be much breathing room. It's been a 1-run game. First, it was Millard West in front after the first. Then Millard South struck back with 2. We don't expect to see this game, played outside, a 3 or 4 run margin.
Yeah, no, it's especially when these 2 teams are so evenly matched.
6th pitch of the at-bat, runs inside. In fact, it clips Braden Parrish. He'll trot down to first base. It would have been a walk, but the umpire threw both hands up, so it must have clipped the jersey of Parrish, leadoff batter aboard for the Patriots here in the bottom of the 4th. Here's Carson Durr. He's doing the catching, has all tournament and all year for the Patriots. He singled back up the box his first time up, came around to score. Durr's a righty, waits the pitch from the righty Swiersek. First one swung on, drilled to right center field. That's going to be down for a hit. So Carson Durr is 2 for 2. Parrish, aggressive turn around second. Had to hustle back to the bag as there's a great throw by Millard West right fielder Chance Roberts. Right to shortstop Tyson Meyer. He was just a couple steps off the bag. But there's Carson Durr coming through with his second single of the game. And now 2 on, nobody out for Millard South.
Yeah, I'm surprised Swaney, as he was approaching second base, didn't get a better read on that ball. I think there's a lot of guys out there right now that are struggling with identifying the wind and figuring out what it's really doing and how much it's affecting the ball when it's in flight, because Swaney there was about 3/4 off the bag. Well, guess what? That ball is in right center field or right field. You're going to get thrown out if you're not just committing at that point anyway. Get on your horse and get to third base there. That could have been an extra 90 feet that I think he would have made at Swaney if he would have just committed from day one.
I would agree. So Swaney's at second. Durr is at first. Carroll lays down a bunt. Oh. Swiersek went and got it. That might have rolled foul. It looked like it was heading that direction. Swiersek picked it up from the foul line. Would have had another chance at it on the next pitch, most likely, but instead it'll go down as a sacrifice bunt by Carroll. So runners move up to second and third with 1 away.
And I apologize for oohing and on in the background there. But first off, that was a perfect bunt in between the grass and the foul line. But then Swiersek, when he picked it up, you could see it from up here. It had side spin on it. It was going to go towards the foul line and even closer to the boundary. Those little things can be a difference maker. Now it's 2 runners in scoring position.
The batter is Blake McAndrews. He's had a couple really nice plays in the field already today. He watches for strike 1. McAndrews wears number 6. He's a sophomore. That's from the right side. Infield in, but not all the way in. 0-1 from Swiersek after he checks the runner at second a couple times. Brings it home. McAndrews up the middle. Shortstop Tyson Meyer gives it a look home. His catcher, Sam Kidd, points him to first, but Blake McAndrews does a job. That's a productive out. 3rd run of the game crosses the plate for Millard South. It's an RBI ground out by the sophomore, Blake McAndrews.
Yeah, it wasn't hit hard enough off the bat. It's actually worked out for Blake McAndrews and Millard South that it wasn't hit harder. I think if it was, then the shortstop, Tyson Meyer, would have had a play at the plate, but that 2-hop to Tyson Meyer, the Millard West shortstop, and it was a smart decision just to go to 1 for the sure out.
Sweeney trots home with the run. 3-1 Millard South. Here's Roy Stief, another runner, 90 feet away. That one pasted into the right center field gap. Roberts gives it a run. He goes to a knee. Did he make the catch? He did. The second base umpire hustles out to see Chance Roberts makes a catch as he's falling down. That keeps another run off the board. The Millard South tacks one on before the inning was over. It's 3-1 Millard South leading Millard West here at the Class A State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket.
Midwest Bank is now hiring in Lincoln. They have multiple banking positions open and are looking for dynamic individuals passionate about helping others and building relationships. With a family-friendly culture, competitive benefits, and unique perks, Midwest Bank is a great place to start a new career. Apply today at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank is an equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through May 27th is $1 off hamburger and hot dog buns, $1 off Plum Creek chicken wings, 15% off barbecue sauces, and 15% off burgers, hot dogs, and brats. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 160th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're into the fifth inning here in the Class A State Tournament at Werner Park. A couple crosstown rivals going at it, Millard South and Millard West. Top of the order due up for the Wildcats here in the fifth. To tell you about it, Nick Sainer.
Thank you, my friend. Austin Norman, Nick Sainer here with you guys. Werner Park, the site for the Class A, B State Championship. We had Class B action earlier this morning. We have Class A the rest of the day. This is our third of 4 games of the day, as we will have a nightcap later on tonight around 7 p.m. or so. It is 3-1 Millard South. They lead it by 2. Millard West, they turn to Sam Kidd to start the top of the fifth inning. The first pitch from Corey is going to hit him on the forearm. It clipped Sam Kidd on the forearm, on the left arm, and so he is going to occupy first base. And if you remember how the first inning went, he got put on a free pass, and his courtesy runner, Hunter Young, who just checked into the game, he came around to score. So Hunter Young is over there at first base occupying that bag. Home plate umpire motions up to us here in the press box that it is a courtesy runner. So now that'll bring up Dylan Swiersek. Swiersek, the pitcher, he is yet to register an official at-bat. He has sacrificed both of his at-bats here. He turns, shows bunt, and has to pull back for a ball 1-0. This is what I'll say about, appreciating and understanding roles within a program. Dylan Swiersek on the year is a pretty good hitter. Around 250 on the year. Not bad. 1 out of every 4. He's hitting second, but he is consistently willing to sacrifice his AB just to move a guy over. And it worked to the benefit of Millard West in the first inning. Didn't do so in the third when they tried it again, but the willingness and in the execution piece, there's two different things. Everybody's willing to do the job. Can everybody do the job? It's a different story, and we see it kind of put on full blast here in the state tournament. The 1-ball, 1-strike count to Dylan Swiersek. He squares. It's a bunt right back to the pitcher. The only play will be to first base. Great job directing traffic by Carson Durr behind the plate as he was yelling at his pitcher to throw to 1. He was yelling at his third baseman, Jackson Apin, to go back to third base so that the runner, Hunter Young, couldn't swipe another 90 feet. So for the third time tonight, Dylan Swiersek has to sacrifice his at-bat. He is out on the play for number 1. But Hunter Young moves up to second base, and Millard West has a runner in scoring position with just 1 out for their 3-hole hitter, Chance Roberts, who had an RBI single in the first. Corey with the pitch, swung on and missed. A hardy cut there by Chance Roberts. Fans threw that one. It's 0-1. Roberts just made a really nice grab in right field to close out the fourth inning. Now trying to cut into this Millard South lead. Here's the pitch. 0-1, inside corner, strike 2. Nice pitch there by Jackson Corey.
Corey's done a good job kind of walking that tightrope, Nick. He hasn't exactly cruised, definitely hasn't dominated, but he's had just enough in the tank so far.
No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner on second. The 0-2 pitch swung on, hit well out to right field, should hang up long enough. It does. No tag on the play, and that is out number 2 on the fly ball to the right fielder. Cade Skomel will come up to the plate. Cade reached on an error back in the first inning, grounded out to the shortstop in the third. Hits from the right side. It's a righty-righty matchup as the outfield will shift accordingly. Skomel, number 33 on this roster, a freshman. Corey from the stretch. The first pitch of the at-bat is outside, ball 1. Millard South leads it 3-1. They're out hitting Millard West by 1, 5-4. Here's the 1-0 pitch up by the chin, a little chin music for Cade Skomel, and it's now 2-0.
Skomel's a well-built guy. 2-0, he's probably looking for something he can do damage on, especially with Will Thomas really shallow there in center field.
2 balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch from Corey on the way. Breaking ball, didn't have a chance to even get bat on that one, and it's now 3 balls and no strikes, and your hands are starting to get tied here if you are Jackson Corey of what you could really throw Cade Skomel's way. Does Steve Fry give him the green light on 3-0? Here's the pitch in the dirt, ball 4. It's a 4-pitch walk. So now runners on first and second. Skomel will be on first, and on second it is Hunter Young. We're going to have a pinch runner for Cade Skomel. Remember, Skomel is just the DH, and so with that being said, he will be able to re-enter into the game to hit, but it looks like they're going to bring in a pinch runner to just run this here in the top of the 5th inning. Feel like the outs are coming at a premium now, and the runs are going to be even at more of a premium. We have a timeout on the field as we have a conference on the mound. Millard South wants to talk things over. We'll see if Jackson Corey's day is done when we come back on 93.7 The Ticket.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in Warner Park. Jackson Corey going to stay out there for now as he will have runners on first and second base. He will have to deal with Colton Williams. Williams had a nice outing on the mound. A sophomore, hits .236 from the plate. Hits from the left side, facing the right-handed pitcher, Jackson Corey. A runner in scoring position, the other one at first base for Millard West. 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Swung on. This one popped left field, fairly shallow, fairly routine, and it's caught for out number 3. Jackson Corey, after having a conversation with his coach on the mound, he makes one more pitch, and he gets a big out to round out the top of the 5th inning. We go to the bottom half of the frame. Your score, Millard South 3, Millard West 1 here on 93.7 The Ticket.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now through May 25th, enjoy all-natural whole bone-in pork butt for $1.49 per pound. Buy 5, get 5 free on brat patties. 10-pound tubes of 85% ground beef, just $2.88 per pound when you buy $100 in meat and groceries. And 6-ounce USDA Choice bacon-wrapped filet mignon, $9.99 each. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockwood Square Shopping Center just south of 84th and Van Dorn. Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into Warner Park. Nick Sainert, Austin Norman with you here as we enter the bottom of the fifth inning. First pitch going to be lined to the shortstop and caught on the line by off the bat of Logan Wick for out number one. And so one pitch, one out on the L6.
Nick, I thought it's just Swirecek's 45th pitch.
Yeah. It's both guys have been efficient. That's why the score is such a wishy-washy statistic when you're looking at how a pitcher does in a game. It brings up Will Thomas as he takes ball one up and away, 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out, bottom of the fifth inning. Here's the pitch from Swirecek to Thomas. This one swung on, fouled off left side. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Popcorn smells a little burnt now.
I know, I
It's
agree.
been cooking just a second too long.
Yeah.
It happened in the first game, too.
Maybe they were trying to keep it warm for me and instead continued to cook it.
Well, how about this? Next time they have fresh popcorn, I'll just take over.
Okay, I'm going to hold you to that, as that is a ball on the inside, just inside, and it's now 2 balls, 1 strike. I don't even know if I want popcorn. It just smells good, so it just naturally, I think your body just tells you that smells good. I want it.
You should probably go get some.
Yeah.
It's what the signals are.
As this one's going to be popped shallow left side, and it's going to be caught by the shortstop in shallow left center field. And a fly out to the 6th man, and it is now out number 2. So Brady Parrish, now steps into the plate, into the box, and he is 2 for 2 on the day. He singled back in the first and singled in the third. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fifth inning. If you're Swirecek for Millard West, you're trying to work a fast one. As that's strike one on a nice little changeup, low and outside, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. The pitch swung on and missed. A unbalanced swing by Brady Parrish there as he fanned on that one, and now it's no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the bottom of the fifth inning. 3-1 is your score. The pitch swung on, soft chopper, left side, fielded cleanly by the shortstop, and he is able to get him out in time on the 6-3 ground out. How about that? All 3 outs feature the shortstop, a line drive out, a fly out, and now a ground out to round out the bottom of the fifth inning. When we turn to the top of the 6th, it will be hitters 6, 7, and 8 due up in the top of the 6th for Millard West. Tyson Meyer, Jake Daniel, and Jake Blackman all come to the plate when we return in 60 seconds.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into Warner Park. Before we get rolling with the top of the 6th inning, Give to Lincoln Day is Thursday, May 29th, and 93.7 The Ticket will be at Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach. Give ahead at givetolincoln.com and choose Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach, located just north of 27th and Holdridge. All right, he made all 3 outs in the bottom of the 5th. It's Tyson Meyer due up, and here's Austin Norman.
Thank you very much, Nick. Meyer, Daniel, and Blackman. The 3 set to hit this inning as Jackson Corey returns for his 6th inning of work. Breaking ball swung on, fouled back. Corey jumps ahead, 0-1. We saw Blake McAndrews trot in from center field between innings. I think McAndrews was out there getting his arm warm. So Corey, he's set at the belt. He'll kick and deliver the 0-1 in the left-handed batter's box, now 1-1. Been a great day of baseball here at Warner Park. Got a great game on our hands here between a couple crosstown foes, rather familiar with one another. Meyer swings, fouls that one off the roof of the press box. He's down in the count 1-2. McAndrews looked to be warming up in the center field bullpen. Still some activity out there for the Patriots as well. Millard West's bullpen starting to stir, but Swiersek just barely over 50 pitches. Here's Corey's 1-2. Taken low, 2-2. It's a good miss at 1-2. Good chase pitch in the shadow zone. Meyer wearing number 14. Corey wearing number 4. The sophomore brings it home. Swung on, fouled off to the right side, twisting foul. We'll do it again at 2-2. Millard South, white caps, navy blue tops, white pants. Corey, McAndrews, Steveton, Wick, Thomas, all wearing red arm sleeves, as is Durr behind the dish. Millard West, black tops, white pants, black stirrups. Corey's 2-2. Lewis took a couple steps after that one, but held up. Full count to the leadoff batter here in the top of the 6th. Good at bat to start things off by Tyson Meyer. He's seen 6 pitches. Here comes the 7th of the at-bat from Corey. Back up the middle, Corey gets his glove to the ground. He takes some steps over to first base, underhand toss to Steveton, 1-3 on the putout for the first out of inning number 6. Good job by the sophomore, got his glove all the way to the ground, didn't panic, had to sit and wait for it as it wasn't tapped very hard. Now it appears we have a pinch hitter. It'll be number 30, Hunter Young. Young has been the courtesy runner for catcher Sam Kidd. He came across to score the game's first run, but Hunter Young will step into the batter's box in place of Jake Daniel. Daniel, the second baseman, grounded to short and flew to right. This season, Hunter Young is a .207 hitter, just 6 of 29. I would presume that Daniel would re-enter defensively in the bottom of the frame. Young's a righty. He's way back in the box. Breaking ball outside, 1-0. For Millard West, 1 run on 4 hits. Had more traffic on the bases, but haven't paid it off outside of the first. Young rockets that one high in the air. Looks like Logan Wick is underneath it. He is. He squeezes it with one hand. Pop out to the second baseman for out 2 of the top of the 6th. Good work by Jackson, Corey, and Nick. We see this with guys that maybe don't have the same level of velocity as they're often able to pitch deeper into games, not relying on just their arm or just their lower body to generate that power. They're crafty, they're deceptive, and Corey's done a pretty good job of keeping Millard West off balance when he's been around the zone.
Yeah, he has, and that's one thing, like longevity-wise. It's a lot easier to, if all you have is velocity, as this one's fouled off out of play to the right. If you have all you have is velocity, it's a lot easier when you get onto this stage against this type of talent. It's easier for them to adjust over the next couple of innings, right? But if you're able to keep them off balance with pitch speed, location, multiple pitches, it becomes a lot tougher for the opponent to really get a hold of.
Jake Blackman, the batter, fouled that one off. As Nick told you, that one hit something. They're saying it hit the knob of the bat.
The umpire didn't even know. The home plate umpire didn't even know. He was waiting to see if Blackman started walking down the first base foul line. And because he signaled that it was a dead ball hit by pitch, but Blackman didn't start walking.
He just stood there. Didn't do himself any favors. It's a foul ball. Now it's an 0-2 count. Corey looking for a second 1-2-3 inning of the game. The 0-2. Fastball outside. Durr swipes it back into the zone, but too far out. Doesn't get the call. 1-2. Millard West has done a better job setting its target outside, moving the body and catching in the middle of the target. Durr caught that one outside the frame of his shoulders. Here's the 1-2, low and in. Counts quickly evened up. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Jackson Corey, the sophomore, entered today with a minuscule ERA of 1.91. That's gone down so far. The 2-2 at the eyeballs, full count. Good job here by Jake Blackman after falling behind in the count 0-2. He's battled back to make it full. Corey gets the sign from Dirk, comes set at the belt. Buckles that left knee, now straightens it out. He's ready to bring home the full count pitch. Fastball lifted to right field. Swaney drifts back a few steps, reaches up his right glove hand, and secures it for the final out of the top of the 6th. 3-1, Millard South over Millard West. We bring you the Patriots' turn at the plate after this to the Class A state tournament on 93.7 The Ticket.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on being the best at one thing and getting it right every time, which is why every chicken finger meal we serve is marinated, hand-battered, cooked to order, and made just for you. Quality isn't complicated, and our menu is proof.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Skip the line and order with our app or online.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
3-1 Millard South over Millard West. Patriots are hoping this is the final time that they get to come to the plate here today. Jackson Apin, Braden Swaney, and Carson Durr will be the first 3 batters for Millard South. I'm Moss Norman, Nick Sainer alongside, and of course Harrison Orange back in our 93.7 The Ticket studios. Big thank you to Harrison and Jackson making sure we get on the air and stay on the air. Apin swings over that one, 0-1. Dylan Spearsek still under 60 pitches as he's into the 6th inning. He's a righty, comes set at the belt. Breaking ball low, 1-1. Talk about the star power and the amount of guys going to the next level to play some college baseball. Spearsek headed to Northeast Community College. There's a fastball on the outer edge, 1-2.
Yeah, we were just talking during the break that in our next game, a total of 18 guys have already declared on where they want to go. Everywhere from community colleges to Nebraska and Oklahoma State will be featured in our next game.
Apin grounds that one to third. Firing across the diamond in time is Landon Horst. First time we've called his name. He's been out in the field, but he has been designated hit 4. But he throws across the diamond in time to retire Apin 5-3 for the first out. Tough day for Apin. He's now 0-3. Here's Braden Swaney. Grounded out to second in the first inning, was hit by a pitch, came around to score in the 4th. Takes that one over the plate for strike 1. Papillion, La Vista South, and Elkhorn South await. We still got plenty of baseball left here as we're in the top of the 6th inning. Swaney falls behind 0-2. Bat hasn't come off his shoulder yet this at bat. Spearset gets the sign from Kidd. Kidd moves his target outside. Fastball outside 1-2.
Good miss there. It was an intentional miss with the fastball. Wanted to line up way outside. Wouldn't be surprised to see them maybe throw a breaking ball either on the outer part of the plate or try back foot.
They do go with the breaking ball. Swaney reaches out those long arms, flicks it to left field, but settling underneath it to make the catch is Jared Bett. So quickly 2 away here in the 6th inning. Carson Durr due up to bat now. Durr has a pair of singles on the day. He came around to score the first time on a 2 RBI single by Roy Steveton. That single put Millard South in front 2-1. Durr gets the first pitch from Spearsack. There's a 3-for-3 day. He was on top of that one. Lined it to right center field. Aggressive turn from Durr. He cruises into second base. A stand-up double. Great hustle out of the box by Durr. He hit that on a line to right center field. A long run for both the center and right fielders. And Durr aboard for the 3rd time. A runner now in scoring position as Millard South looks for any extra insurance it can find.
Yeah, Durr with a really nice piece of hitting there, and he was lightning quick out of the box, showing that catchers can still run every now and then. Carson Durr is an exception to that belief that they can't.
As are you. You were an exception back in the day.
I certainly was not.
Owen Quakenbush does come on to courtesy run. A little more speed. Who was your courtesy runner in high school?
Ooh, it depended on the day. Actually, this one. So there was a lot of days where he was my roommate my freshman year of college. AJ Putney, who you might recognize the last name, Larry Putney, the son.
Mm-hmm.
We AJ and I were roommates in college, but played 4 years in high school together. So AJ a lot of times courtesy ran for me. There was a couple of other ones but that's none of them that's coming to mind right now.
Well, shout out to AJ.
Shout out to AJ. I'm going to be thinking about who else was one of my courtesy runners. I'm trying to think of guys that were fast.
We should note there's a difference, too, between being fast and being a good base runner.
Yeah,
there's so
100%.
much more to it than
there's
that.
so much of an art. There were a couple of guys. Now, I will say this. There were a couple of guys that were, POs, pitcher onlys, that they were really smart IQ-wise and quick. And just because they didn't hit didn't mean they didn't run. So a couple of guys there.
Here's Noah Carroll after a mound visit by Millard West. He takes a fastball low, 1-0. I do like the idea of a courtesy runner. I understand why it's not around in college and Major League Baseball.
If you can't run in college, then,
it's on you.
Yeah.
Carroll takes a fastball in the upper inner part of the zone.
Or if you as a catcher can't run, or somebody in college can't run, then you must be hitting 410 with 25 bombs on the year.
Too valuable to waste the reps on the bases.
It's okay. The liability is worth it.
Spearsack's 1-1, laced back up the middle and through. Noah Carroll delivers a single into center. Quakenbush being waved home. The throw goes all the way to the plate, but not in time. Noah Carroll extends Millard South's lead to 4-1. A resounding RBI single back up the middle.
Well, and I'll say this, just talking about the way baseball works, unfortunately, it was a good piece of hitting there for Noah Carroll. Could have been just trimmed down to a single. The center fielder for the Millard West Wildcats, Jake Blackman, not airmailed, but he did not throw it through his cutoff. We talked about that earlier in the tournament, and because of that, great job reading it on the back end by Noah Carroll. He got an extra 90 feet. So now if another base hit goes through, that's another run.
He and Quakenbush trade places at second base. Blake McAndrews chops this one down the third baseline. Horst, a little indecisive, picks it up fair just in time across the diamond to retire the side. But not before Millard South tacks on one more run. It's now 4-1. Millard South leading Millard West. Wildcats have 3 outs to get 3 runs or more for their chance to keep playing. Nick Sainer will tell you more about it next on 93.7 The Ticket. Make plans to join 93.7 The Ticket and the Amon Green Foundation for the first annual Nebraska Esports Golf Tournament on Monday, June 9th at Wilderness Ridge. It's a 4-man scramble starting at 11 a.m. that will feature former Husker greats like Amon Green, Johnny Rogers, Niles Paul, Tony Davis, Adam Carricker, Vershawn Jackson, and more, with great prizes and great golf. Sponsorships are also available. Call or text us at 402-464-5685 with questions, or sign your team up online at theticketfm.com. Registration goes through May 30th.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Discovering your life's passion is easier with options, and that's what Doane offers students. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doane, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes you different. Apply today at doane.edu/apply.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
4-1 Millard South over Millard West. The Wildcats come to bat here in the top of the 7th in search of 3 runs. I'm Austin Norman, but here for the 7th, Nick Sainer.
Thank you, Austin. Here's Jackson Teal. Teal, a pinch hitter for Jared Betts. It's hitters 9, 1, and 2 in the Millard West order. And Jackson Teal steps into the right-handed batter's box. Millard West needs 3 runs to keep this ball game alive. Millard South needs 3 outs to punch their ticket to a date with Lincoln East tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. The first pitch of the top of the 7th is in there for a strike as Jackson Corey back out there for his 7th inning of work. Corey working from the stretch. There are 2 arms ready to go for Millard South as this one's popped up right side. And very playable for the first baseman, Steveton, as he hauls it in for out number 1.
Teal didn't move a muscle out of that batter's box in a ball that was pretty close to being fair. In the game of baseball, you just never know, and especially when the season might come down to this. To not bust out of the box just in case, not the best sign.
Now we turn the lineup over, and it's Sam Kidd, the catcher. Kidd is 1 for 1 on the day. He has a hit by pitch and a normal walk and then a single as he takes ball 1 low and away, 1-0. No reason to dilly-dally if you are Jackson Corey. No reason to pitch around any guys. You got nobody on base despite it being the top of the order. Corey falls behind 2-0 on Sam Kidd. So we're shooting for a 7 p.m. start time. It appears we'll probably be around right on time there for Elkhorn South and Papio South, a game that has a lot of college flavor in it. A total of 18 guys have already made their declarations known. It's going to be a real good one between Elkhorn South and Papio South later in a little under an hour and a half. 3 balls, no strikes to Sam Kidd, the Millard West leadoff hitter. 1 out in the top of the 7th. He takes strike 1, 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike coming for Jackson Corey on the mound and Sam Kidd at in the box. The 3-1 offering from Corey. Swung on, hit well. This one is going to find the gap. That's deep right center field. On his horse, trucking around first. He's going to make the turn at second, and he will be in there safely. They're not even going to bother throwing his way to third. It's a stand-up triple on a ball that was hunting for the gap at the moment it hit the barrel. And that's a 1-out triple for Sam Kidd.
Real spark of life for Millard West now. He's just 90 feet away, but if you are Millard West, you can't get the game right here, right? That's just 1 run. For Millard South, as we have a mound visit coming, probably the end of the line for Jackson Corey. It's unfortunate to give up a triple. That ball was pasted into the right center field gap, but ultimately that run is essentially meaningless right now.
In a game where Sam Kidd might have just had his last high school at bat, he triples in right center field. Jackson Corey on the mound for Millard South. His day is done. We'll tell you about the new gunslinger when we come back here on 93.7 The Ticket.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the 2nd season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into Warner Park. It's the top of the 7th inning. Millard South leads it 4-1. However, Millard West here with one out in the top of the 7th. They are still in business, still alive. They just had a one-out stand-up triple by Sam Kidd that forced Greg Geary for Millard South to take starting pitcher Jackson Corey out of the game. They turn to number 11, the senior Brock Lang. Lang on the year, no saves, a 1-0 record with a 4.20 earned run average. And he has no small mountain to climb in front of him as he will have to deal with hitters 2, 3, and 4 in the Millard West lineup. And starting up first, it's Dylan Swiersek. Swiersek is 0 for 0 today. You might say, well, Nick, it's the top of the 7th inning. How in the world? Well, 3 sacrifice bunts will do that for you. Sam Kidd is 90 feet away. He can't be courtesy ran for because Hunter Young, his normal courtesy runner, pinch hit earlier in the ball game. Here's the first pitch of the at-bat to Swiersek, low and away for a ball, 1-0.
While it would be funny to see Swiersek's commitment to the bit of going 0 for 0 with 4 sacrifice bunts, not advisable with only 2 outs potentially remaining in the season.
So Swiersek, the righty, turns, and it's ball 2. Figure out a way to settle down, young fella. Throw it across the plate. Let the defense do the work here. With a 3-run lead, it can get real uncomfortable, real tense for Millard South real quickly here. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out in the top of the 7th. The pitch is low, 3-0.
Lang's got a little more velocity than Corey does. Certainly not overpowering, though. But Corey did so well was pound the strike zone. Lang hasn't found it yet.
3 balls, no strikes. Does he walk him on 4 pitches? No. 3 balls, 1 strike. We are nearing the 6 o'clock hour here at Warner Park. Still about 15 or so minutes away from that. 3 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch from Lang. Swung on, grounder, right side. It's going to be fielded cleanly by the second baseman. Thrown over to first in time, and you exchange the out for the run. If you are Millard South, that trims it to just a 2-run lead, but the bases are now empty with 2 outs after the 4-3 ground out. The winner of this game gets a matchup with the number 1 seeded Lincoln East Spartans tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. The loser will go home. Millard South leads it 4-2. They have 1 more out to get, and Chance Roberts steps into the box. The pitch inside corner, clips it, strike 1. Brock Lang, without a save on the year, a 1-0 record, a 4.20 earned run average. Here's the pitch on 0-1. Swung on, grounder, right side. Can the second baseman get there? No, he cannot. It's going to trickle into center field. Out for the glove of the second baseman, Logan Wick. And it will keep the inning alive for the Millard West Wildcats. And how about this, folks? Millard West, they will turn to their freshman, number 33. It is Cade Skomel. Skomel has been hitting in the cleanup spot all game, but now the season is up to him to keep it alive. Runner is at first base with Chance Roberts. The freshman has 12 runs driven in on the season. The first pitch of the at-bat gets through the legs of Durr, and to second base goes Roberts. And once again, now that takes away a forced play at second. Here, if you are Millard South, 1 ball, no strikes coming up to Cade Skomel.
Durr really jumped up there instead of going down to a knee. I wonder if he thought that was going to skip a little higher than it did, but never got the glove down.
1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Down Broadway, 1-1. Got to be careful out there at second base if you are Chance Roberts. Don't want to get picked off. However, if you're Millard South, you're not too concerned even with Chance Roberts. Here's the pitch from Lang. Swung on. This one lined out right side. The right fielder under it, and he hauls it in with a snow cone. The right fielder for Millard South is Braden Swaney, able to haul it in. That will do it. Millard South stays alive, and they will face off against the Lincoln East Spartans tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., and you'll be able to hear that game right here on 93.7 The Ticket. Your final score, Millard South 4, Millard West 2. Austin, final thoughts in this one?
Really well-played baseball game. It lived up to the hype, everything we thought it was going to be. Jackson Corey, probably the story of the game. Only allows 1 run, on 4 hits was all that he gave up. Not an overpowering guy by any means. Did a good job mixing locations up. And then timely offense from Millard South. It was up and down the lineup, really. Parrish went 2 for 3, ended up on base both times, but Swaney hit by pitch and scored. Carson Durr with the 3 hits and a big 4th run, right? With 2 outs, Durr hits that double, gets into scoring position with his hustle. Carroll comes through and provides some extra insurance. A 3-1 game headed into the 7th inning. That extra run there in the 6th, I should say, that extra run proves to be big because then Millard West did get that base runner on. If it's just a 3-2 game, if Durr's not hustling out of the box and he's only at first base, then it gets really tense really quick for a guy in Brock Lang who's been hit around the yard a little bit this year. So good pressure from start to finish from Millard South, Nick, setting up what should be a really fun game tomorrow at 10. So a fantastic game between Millard South and Lincoln East. The first time these two teams matched up. Nice to see we'll get a good matchup between those two again.
You're absolutely right. Your final score one last time from Warner Park, Millard South 4, Millard West 2. That will get us ready for a 7 p.m. first pitch between Elkhorn South and Papillion La Vista South. It's going to be a real good one here at Warner in the nightcap. The winner will advance. The loser goes home, and we will find out who is doing what here at 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Thanks in part to Harrison Arns back in our 93.7 The Ticket studios. We appreciate you guys listening and spending your Tuesday afternoon / early evening with us. Hope you join us at 7 p.m. tonight from Warner Park for Elkhorn South and Papio South. Your final score, Millard South 4, Millard West 2. Millard South will play Lincoln East in our first game of the day tomorrow on The Ticket against Lincoln East at 10 a.m. We'll be back from Warner Park in a little over an hour's time here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Play ball! Ready for summer fun and ballpark vibes? Bring your pack to Haymarket Park for a thrilling season of Lincoln Salt Dogs baseball and